Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this special fire situation report for September 23rd, 2016. I'm Daniel Berline, coming to you from the Cal Fire Information Center. This weekend, we are expecting some very high fire danger across Southern California. In fact, the National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning across much of Southern California. Let's jump right over to our map here, and I'll show you just exactly where those high fire danger areas are. This is in parts of Southern California, stretching all the way from Ventura down into San Diego counties. You can see we are right here along the edge. This is right here at the Ventura-Santa Barbara County line and stretching through Los Angeles, through the mountains into San Bernardino, down into just the top portion of Riverside County above Banning. This is where we're going to see right now the highest level of fire danger, where we're going to see the strongest Santa Ana winds primarily on Sunday, though this red flag warning is in effect now through the weekend. What we're expecting to see in many parts of these areas, especially those mountains and those valley regions, is low humidity and very gusty winds. In fact, we could see winds in some areas up to 55 miles an hour. So if you live in any of these areas where we are seeing the red flag warnings, or even this yellow, the yellow is where we have a fire weather watch, that's areas where we're keeping a very close eye on, because the potential for the weather to shift and to go to that extreme category does exist. So red flag warnings again in Ventura, parts of Los Angeles, and parts of San Bernardino, and in little tip of Riverside County. Fire weather watches in Los Angeles, Orange County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, down into San Diego County. Strong winds. Now let's show you a little bit about what we're expecting. Here's a wind gauge from the National Weather Service. This is what we could see come this weekend. Everywhere in green is winds that could be 20 to 30 miles an hour. But as you see down here in the southern part of the state, that's where we're starting to see some yellows and reds. That's even higher wind gusts. Zooming in a little bit closer here into Southern California, you can see this is where we have those pockets of yellow. Again, the San Bernardino Mountains, the valleys just outside of Palm Springs, down through Temecula and along to into San Diego counties. This is where winds are going to pick up at least 40 to 50 miles an hour, gusts of 60. So again, you can see very high winds throughout Southern California. Now, our temperatures right now, we're starting to see temperatures go up. This week, in the middle of the week, especially Wednesday and Thursday, we primarily saw a bit of a cool down, which was nice, but that is not going to last very long. In fact, if we jump here to Sunday, you can see conditions starting to warm up. Even into Monday, conditions definitely starting to heat up. 102 in San Diego County, 98 in Fresno. The other major issue with this red flag warning, why we have high fire danger come this weekend, is the humidity. You can see dark red across the state. Humidity is going to be in the teens. And it's that combination of humidity, low humidity, and those gusty winds. That's why those fire weather watches and red flag warnings are in effect. Now, while Southern California is our primary concern right now for the weather conditions, a heat advisory has been issued this weekend for much of the Bay Area. You can see from the North Bay stretching all the way down the peninsula, down all the way through Monterey counties. So we're going to see a high temperatures, I should say, and those temperatures will help elevate the fire risk. So while we don't have a red flag warning or a fire weather watch in effect at this time, the heat advisory that will be in place Sunday and Monday, those high temperatures combined with the dry conditions will elevate our fire risk significantly. So what can you do if you live in one of these areas where we have high fire risk, or really across California where we have dry conditions? There's a number of important steps that you should be doing right now. If you're going camping this weekend, you've got to remember some important tips and some important rules to make sure you prevent a fire. Because when we have these high fire risks and these red flag warnings, we need you to do your part to prevent sparking a fire, because one less spark does mean one less wildfire. So if you're going camping, let's start with when you're building your campfire. You want to make sure you have an area that's all the way around it, has about at least 5 feet in diameter cleared of that space, so that there's no possibility of any other debris or grass that where your campfire is being located, allowing the campfire itself to spread. So make sure you scrape away any of that grass, any of those leaves, any of those needles, down to bare mineral soil at least 5 feet from the edge of the fire to the cleared area. You also want to make sure that you have water nearby. That way, in case you need to leave for any reason, or when you're done with your campfire, you can completely extinguish it if there is a problem. Now, when you're burning, water and a shovel are a must. Again, these are the tools you need to ensure that you're doing it safely, but that you can extinguish it as well. You want to have a responsible adult in attendance of all campfires at all times. That way, if something goes wrong, they can be there to help. And always never leave children unattended around a fire. Now, when you're done with your campfire for the night or when you're leaving for the weekend, you want to completely extinguish it. Make sure it's out. So we recommend using the drown, stir, and feel method. That means drown the fire with water. Now, we are in a drought, so make sure you're using just enough to make sure that fire is out. Use that shovel, stir in some dirt all the way around that fire area, and really stir it around, mix it up, making sure those hot embers underneath completely are extinguished. That shovel is going to really help you ensure that. Once you think it is completely out, you want to feel. Use the back of your hand, not the front, but use the back, and you want to put it down towards the ground. Don't necessarily touch the ground, but feel right above the ground. If it's still hot, if it's still warm, it needs a little bit more water and a little bit more dirt for you to circle around. So again, if you're going camping, make sure you have a shovel and some water and a responsible adult. Ensure you completely extinguish that campfire with the drown, stir, and feel method. If you're going to be working around the house this weekend using powered equipment, these are the type of conditions that are extra dangerous when you have powered equipment that could spark a fire. So if you're going to be mowing at all, start before 10 a.m. Never mow when it's hot and windy out. So early in the morning is best, but once that wind picks up, stop your mowing. Now, lawn mowers are designed to mow lawn, green grass. They're not designed for weeds or dry grass. So you want to make sure you pick the right tool for any of your clearing methods. If you are trying to clear grass or weeds, use a weed trimmer that has a string trimmer, not necessarily a metal blade, because that metal blade can hit a rock like this, and easily spark a wildfire. Now, on your equipment itself, you want to make sure that you have a spark arrestor. So any chainsaws, any other types of powered equipment like tractors, harvesters, weed eaters, and mowers, they're all required to have a spark arrestor. So make sure they do. That's going to help ensure that if there is a spark inside the engine itself, it keeps that spark inside internally, doesn't spark it outdoors, potentially sparking a wildfire. So you want to make sure you have a spark arrestor on your equipment. Some good tips: have a fire extinguisher, water source, a shovel nearby, just in case something does happen. And if you are doing any type of work like welding, you want to make sure, one, you might need a permit, but also ensure you have a good 10 feet of clearance from where you're using the welding machines from any flammable vegetation. And of course, don't drive on dry grass, and we'll talk about vehicles here in just a moment. Some important things, though, on your terrain. You want to protect water quality by making sure that when you're clearing vegetation down to bare mineral soil, you still have some level of something to hold that soil in. That's important all the time when you're just trying to make sure your property is safe. Now, when you're using vehicles, if you're going driving, if you're going to be towing a trailer or a boat or anything like that, you want to practice some vehicle safety this weekend. So let's talk about a few of those steps. First, secure chains if you are towing a trailer. So if you have a boat, if you have a mobile home a trailer, or even a horse trailer, you have trailer chains to ensure that it's connected safely in case something goes wrong. You want to make sure those trailer chains are completely connected. You don't want to let them drag on the ground. If these trailer chains drop from the trailer and drag on the ground, they're going to cause hundreds and hundreds of sparks as you are driving down the road. So make sure your trailer chains are secure. Make sure your vehicle is properly maintained. If you have any parts of the vehicle that are dragging on the ground, just like those chains, they too can cause a spark. So properly maintain your vehicle, ensuring there are no parts dragging. Your tire pressure is very important. Your tire pressure, if it's not correct and not full to its the amount of air and that it needs, it can cause exposed rims to actually spark on the ground. So ensure your tires are properly inflated. If you are driving around in the wildland areas, carry a fire extinguisher just in case. Properly maintain your brakes as well. Brakes that are worn too close, they can actually cause metal-to-metal contact, which can cause a spark. So you've got to make sure your vehicle is maintained. Never drive it on dry grass as well. Now, Robin asked a great question. What's the percentage of wildfires caused by legal campfires? Now, you may find this hard to believe, but 95% of all the wildfires we respond to are caused by the activity of people. And whether it's from your vehicle, whether it's from camping, or whether it's from any other type of outdoor activity, you want to make sure that you're taking those extra steps. Campfires as well, they are a leading cause. Now, campfires cause anywhere from, say, 7 to 10% of the wildfires in California. But in total, 95% of fires are preventable because they are caused by the activity of people. So these are some important tips and important steps on how you can prevent sparking a wildfire because of this high fire danger this weekend. If you want more tips, you can always go to readyforwildfire.org. Now I want to switch back here to our map here. In case you're joining us, again, a red flag warning has been issued by the National Weather Service across Southern California. Firefighters are on high alert. In fact, we have increased our staffing, additional firefighters, additional fire equipment, additional aircraft, all on the ready in case a wildfire breaks out, because we know with these possible Santa Ana conditions, these fires are going to be able to burn very quickly. And so we've got to jump on them very aggressively, and that's why we have additional firefighters on the ready. While we're prepared, we need you to be prepared. Again, we talked about some of those steps. You can always go to readyforwildfire.org to get some more information. And don't think just because we're in fall, in fact, fall officially began this week, historically, it's the month of September and October when we actually historically see the largest and most damaging wildfires. Here are just a couple of some of those fires. The Cedar Fire in 2003 in San Diego County, the Oakland Hills in 1991 in Alameda County. The Valley Fire started in early September in Lake County, burning in Napa and Sonoma as well. And then, of course, the Witch Fire in 2007, which burned in San Diego County. All of these fires ignited in the fall months. So this is the time of year when fire activity is at its highest. And again, that red flag warning does increase our fire risk even higher. Please visit readyforwildfire.org so that you have the latest on how you can prepare and prevent for a wildfire. And if a fire does spark in your area, evacuate early. That's the safest thing for you, your family, and our firefighters. That's the latest on the fire situation this weekend. I'm Daniel Berlant. Please have a fire-safe weekend.